What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another moto vlog. So some of you probably noticed that I didn't upload last Saturday, and you probably think, oh, you didn't make a video. That's wrong. I actually did make the video. I made the video that I'm making today last week. Except last weekend when I made that video, apparently I didn't notice a huge ass bug flew right into the camera like 5 minutes into the video. So I recorded the whole video, looked at the footage, it was complete trash because there was a giant bug on the camera. So I definitely learned my lesson from that. I'm gonna be checking the camera lens every once in a while from now on just to make sure there ain't no bug goody hole on it. Also, I got a couple new things for the bike. I just ordered, well, it actually just came in the mail like the other day. I got a new rear tire for the Daytona. I bought a Pirelli Diablo Rosso 3. I don't know, I probably butchered that name, but it's like got super good reviews. So I'm gonna try it out and see how it does. The tires I have now are Metzler M3s, and honestly, I like the tires. They're not actually that good of tires, apparently, but I like the traction. I've never really had an issue with them. Oh my god, can you walk any slower? No, just keep going. Don't look at that. Even though it looks like somebody lost, like, I don't know, all their engine oil in the middle of the street, not important. Anyways, I have about 5,000 miles on these Metzlers, and you know, they've served me well, but the rear tire is just kind of roached, and I definitely need a new one. And the other thing I got new, you guys might have noticed by now, is I got these fairing pieces right here, and oops. I got these new fairing pieces on the left and right over here. I was previously missing those. I just bought the bike without them. I don't know what happened to them before. Might have got lost, taken off, never put back on. Who knows? But I bought them off eBay. I've been looking for them on eBay for like months now, but no one ever sells them. And then they finally just popped up, and I snatched them up for like 30 bucks for both of them. Super good deal. It makes the bike look a lot cleaner, I think, because I can't see any of the wires now, and I don't know. It's just a complete motorcycle now. So today's video topic is one of the most highly debated things amongst motorcycle riders, and that is clutchless shifting bad for your motorcycle? So for all the people who just want to click off this video right away and just get the answer to the question, I'll do that for you guys. I'll answer the question right away. And the answer is no. Clutchless shifting is not bad for your motorcycle if done properly. Oh my goodness, there's so many deer. There's one right there too. Deer are like the smartest yet dumbest animal, because they'll just like dart out in the middle of the road for no apparent reason. Besides humans, of course. Humans are definitely the dumbest animal. So for all the people still watching this video and want to know why clutchless shifting isn't bad for your motorcycle, I'm going to explain that for you guys. So first off, let's talk about what clutchless shifting is. I know it's probably pretty self-explanatory, but let's just define it quick. Clutchless shifting on your motorcycle is, simply put, just shifting your gears on your bike without using the clutch. And we're going to leave cars out of this conversation right now because they have a different type of gearbox and transmission. Most cars have what's called a dogleg transmission, and I'm not really familiar with those, and I don't really think clutchless shifting is very good on a car. But for motorcycles, it's a different story. And also, let's just answer the question of why you would even want a clutchless shift. First of all, clutchless shifting tends to be quicker than using the clutch. Pretty much all MotoGP racers, you know, use clutchless shifting, or they have quick shifters, and I'll talk about that in a second. Another reason why you'd want a clutchless shift is it tends to be smoother. And I guess the last reason why some people clutchless shift is just because they don't have to use the clutch. I mean, they can just... And you guys just saw me do it. I just shifted from 4th to 5th without using the clutch. And so if I want to explain why clutchless shifting isn't bad for your motorcycle, I'm going to kind of have to explain how clutchless shifting is done for you guys. And I think a good way to start off that conversation is by talking about a quick shifter, like I mentioned earlier. So if you guys don't know what a quick shifter does, a lot of motorcycles have them from factory, like a BMW S1000, pretty much a lot of Ducatis have them. Higher end European bikes have them, as well as a few Japanese bikes that are higher end, like the 1000 cc's have them. And so if you guys don't know what they are, they're basically connected to your ECU, which controls your throttle bodies, which gives your bike gas, of course, and they're controlled to your shift lever. And it's worth noting that a quick shifter only usually works when you're upshifting. So let's say I'm on the track right now and I'm racing. I'm in 4th gear, which I am, and I want to shift to 5th gear. And I have the throttle just pinned, you know, I'm ready to shift into 5th gear. All I'd have to do would just be tap the shifter up into 5th gear without using the clutch, of course. And the nice thing about a quick shifter is you don't have to release the throttle. You just keep the throttle pinned and the bike will just shift. And so from a technical standpoint, how a quick shifter works is it basically cuts your engine RPMs even though you're on the throttle, and it takes a load off the transmission, which allows your bike to slip into 5th gear or whichever gear you're upshifting into. And that's the key thing that we're trying to replicate when we clutchless shift, is taking the load off the transmission to allow our you know, bike to slip into the next gear. Oh, that's pretty. The sun just like hitting the top of the trees like that. I honestly love the hills so much more in the fall. The colors are changing. It's just absolutely gorgeous out here. And the weather's not even bad. It's like late September and the weather's like 60, 70 degrees during the day. It's awesome. And so as long as we do things properly and take load off the transmission, there we got some more deer. God dang it. As long as we take load off the transmission and gearbox, clutchless shifting is perfectly fine to do, as long as you do things right. That's the main emphasis. You can damage your gearbox pretty quickly, maybe chip some teeth on whichever gear you're shifting into if you do things improperly. And that's really the risk you're taking when you clutchless shift, is damaging your transmission. If you don't know how to do it properly and you're not confident and comfortable doing it, I definitely would not recommend doing it. Holy crap, there's so many deer. It's ridiculous. So let me just demonstrate a clutchless upshift for you guys real quick. So I'm in 3rd gear right now. I'm going to be going into 4th gear. What I'm going to do is have my hand off the clutch. I'm going to apply about a pound of pressure to my shifter in the upward direction, obviously, because I'm going into 4th gear. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blurp the throttle down. I'm going to be on the throttle in 3rd gear and then just release it just a little bit. So watch my throttle hand here. It was that simple. I had pressure on the shifter and just released the throttle, and the bike just slipped into 4th gear. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. So right now I've pretty much only talked about clutchless upshifting, and honestly that's the only type of clutchless shifting that I'm comfortable doing. The other type of clutchless shifting you can do is, of course, clutchless downshifting. And this is where a lot of people really draw the line, and this is where people debate each other back and forth, is clutchless downshifting okay for your motorcycle? It's not bad for your motorcycle as long as it's done properly. But the thing is about clutchless downshifting is it's a lot harder to do than clutchless upshifting. It's not as natural as clutchless upshifting. Clutchless downshifting is basically the exact opposite as clutchless upshifting. And like I said, I know how to clutchless downshift. I just haven't tried it because I'm not confident and I'm not comfortable doing it yet. But I do know how it works. To downshift your motorcycle without using the clutch, what you have to do is you have to make sure your motorcycle is decelerating. And obviously what that means is you have to have your clutch out and your throttle released. And like I said, it's the exact opposite as clutchless upshifting. While decelerating, you're going to want to apply about a pound or so of pressure in the downward direction of your shifter, because you're going to want to downshift, of course. And instead of cutting the throttle like we did when we were upshifting, we're actually going to want to blurp the throttle and give it some gas and get the RPMs higher. And the very second you blurp that throttle and take the load off the gearbox and transmission, your bike's going to slip into the gear you want. And like I said, I'm just really not comfortable doing it on this bike. I can clutchless upshift all day long because that's just what feels natural to me. Ah! That squirrel almost died. But for some reason, clutchless downshifting doesn't feel as natural to me, and I'm not confident enough to do it on my motorcycle. But I hope you guys can understand the process that goes along with it. I do just want to address the topic and the question at hand just one more time for you guys. And the question is clutchless shifting, either upshifting or downshifting, bad for your motorcycle? And the answer to that is no, if done properly. And if you guys want to try out clutchless shifting, I would definitely recommend that you guys start out clutchless upshifting. Upshifting usually tends to feel a lot more natural for people. For example, I'm in 4th gear right now. Let's go into 5th. I'm going to just apply some pressure up, give it a blurp of a throttle. 5th gear, going up this hill. Let's go into 6th gear, apply pressure. 6th gear. It's that simple, it's that smooth. The bike actually really likes to be shifted without the clutch. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button below and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, you can definitely leave them below, and I'll see you guys next Saturday.